Nice. All right. Okay, so let's all start. We're going to start today sitting in Varasana if it works okay with your hips and your knees. So there's a couple ways we can do it. You take your block, put your block back behind you, and then sit back, and you can sit like this. If you need to, you can sit up higher. So I've got two blocks. You can sit on a pillow. So that's going to just make it a little bit more accessible for you. Or you can sit on a blanket. And if it's just too hard on your knees, don't worry about it. You can maybe even just take one leg forward. All right. And again, if this is just too hard on your hips or your knees, just come into a comfortable seated position. All right. So let's just sit up tall. And then at some point, this right here, the tops of your feet, you know, sitting like this, if that becomes uncomfortable, just again, notice what's going on. We're not going to be here that long, but just notice what's going on in your body and make your adjustments. All right, so let's just close our eyes. And then just start to explore. Let's explore our external landscape first. Just kind of notice what's going on externally. Just being aware of any sensations on your skin, temperature-wise, or even just anything that's kind of bothering you. Notice any noises, smells. Just notice without judgment. Take your shoulders up to your ears, float them back and down. Feel the crown of the head rise up. Feel your sit bones root down into your block. All right, now let's explore internally. So looking internally, what's going on. And again, without judgment, just notice if there's anything that's kind of tugging at you, any constrictions. Notice the good stuff too. You feeling good today? Relax your jaw, soften your temples. Then take your hands outside of your ears. Take a breath in. And then exhale, bring your palms together. So the thumbs will come to your third eye. Take a breath in. And then exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Mental clearing, mental centering. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, quiet the mind. Collect your thoughts. Inhale. Exhale, offer your thoughts to your heart. And one last time. Inhale. Exhale. Quiet your mind. Inhale. And then exhale. Bring those thoughts, that chatter to your heart. So we lead more from our heart. We're shutting down all that noise in our head. Then we can just stay here. And if it's still okay, stay in this seated position. Otherwise, you can make some adjustments. So we're going to take our hands, interlace your fingers, and then turn the palms out facing forward. Then we're going to take the arms up and overhead. And just go where you can go here. You may notice there's a stop, with your range of motion. Just go where you can go. Don't force anything here. We're going to take the shoulders down away from our ears and press up through your hands. And take your low belly in and up. Crown of the head still rises toward the sky. So we're still sitting up nice and tall. Pressing up, shoulders down. So we don't want to be hunching up. We want that space between the ears and the shoulders. And then carefully bring your arms down. All right, so now we're going to switch our grip. So whatever pinky was on top, switch it so the opposite one is on top. So it's going to feel weird because that was your dominant grip, right? So let's bring the hands back out in front. Take the shoulders back and down, sit up nice and tall, and then carefully bring your arms up and overhead. Shoulders down, away from your ears, reaching the palms up to the sky. You can even take your chin slightly towards your chest, but keep the shoulders drawing down and the crown of the head rising up. And then carefully bring your hands down. And then just sit here for a sec. All right, so now let's take our legs out in front. So just carefully, you can stay on your block. Take your legs out in front. You might want to turn it the other way. I'm going to turn mine lengthwise. We're coming into Tadasana. So let's take the legs. We're actually going to manipulate them, right? We're going to get them into Tadasana legs. So we're going to take the inner thighs and rotate them down. I say this a lot. I'm like a broken record in this class, right? Our inner knees, our inner thighs rotate down. And then we press through the heels. Draw the quads up. Take the low belly up. You can take your hands down by your sides. Open the chest. Lift the chest. Reach the crown of your head up. And the gaze is just, the drishti is just down your nose. So we're just kind of gazing down, but kind of looking straight ahead, but down the nose. Open the chest. Press through your heels. All right, and then carefully now release that, okay? And you'll notice the difference, right? Our feet kind of splay out. We kind of hunch over. That's okay. Just kind of let it go. You kind of slouch here. Just kind of notice what our body does. Now we're going to go back into that again. So we're going to extend the legs. You can get the legs, the inner thighs rotating down toward the mat. Hands at your side. Lift your chest. And if this feels easy for you, you can bring your arms up and overhead. Lift the chest. So just like before, we want the shoulders down, away from our ears. Crown of the head rises to the sky. We're still actively taking the inner thighs toward the mat, right? We're pressing through the heels, flexing our toes toward our shins. And then carefully come down. All right, let's come off the block and come into a seated position. And you might want to sit on something. I usually like to sit on a little bit of a blanket when I'm in a seated position because I do have tight hips. All right, we're going to twist over to the right. Just an easy twist over to the right. So the left hand will come on your right knee, the right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale, twist. And then we'll twist over to the other side. So right hand on your left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And one more inhale. And exhale, twist. And then come on back to center and switch your legs around. And we're going to flow through that. So we're going to twist over to the right. Exhale, twist. Inhale to the left. Exhale, twist. Inhale to the right. And twist on your exhalation. Inhale to the left. And exhale and twist. And then just come on back to center. Come on to your hands and knees. So you're going to come on to all fours. Now, stack your shoulders over your wrist. And then we want the shins and the tops of our feet pressing into the mat. And right now we're staying right here. So as you push your hands into the mat, engage the triceps. Broaden across the collarbones. Feel the shoulders broadening. And press your tops of your feet into your mat. You're pushing the floor away from you. And then just relax. All right, so we're going to do that again. Push the floor. Broaden across your collarbones. Draw your navel in and up. So our back is neutral spine. So we're not arching, we're not rounding. Back is neutral spine. Now let's continue to press down with our left hand. So really create that strength and energy in your left hand. And take your right arm in line with your ear. And then extend your left leg parallel to the floor. Now hold this here. Flex through the left heel and reach through the right hand. Draw your navel in and up. Don't let this left hip pop up. Keep the left hip parallel to the floor. Reaching through the fingers, pressing through the heel. And then carefully place that hand and knee down. All right, we'll set up for the other side. So strong right arm. We're going to take the left arm in line with our ear. And then the right leg parallel to the floor. Draw your navel up toward the belly button. Take that pinky toe toward the floor, the right pinky toe, and extend through your left hand. Reach nice and long. And then place that hand and knee down. And we'll take child's pose. Take your knees wide, toes together. Take your tailbone to your heels. And then extend your arms out nice and long. Reach through the fingertips. Maybe even tense your fingertips to press into your hands and get your tailbone to your heels. And then come on back onto hands and knees. All right, let's take a cat-cow here. Take your tailbone towards your knees, push the floor away from you, and look up at your belly button. So you're pushing the floor away just like you did before. Now you're going to continue that pushing into the mat. Tops of your feet are pressing down. We're going to drop the belly toward the mat. Broaden across our collarbones. Take the tailbone toward the sky. So we've got a big arch in our back. And then we're going to go back into cat pose. Round the back. Tailbone toward the knees. Push the floor away. Inhale, come back to cow. Belly drops toward the mat. Broaden across your collarbones. And one more time. Exhale, cat. Inhale, back to cow. And then come to neutral spine. And we're going to turn over and let's come on to our backs. So get your block, or you can have a block handy, but get your strap, keep a blanket nearby. We're going to roll down onto our backs. So let's take our feet long to the edge of your mat. And again, just like in Tadasana, we want the inner knees, the inner thighs rotating down towards your mat. Feet are flexed, and we'll take the arms up and overhead. Lift your chest. Now hook your thumbs together. Press through your heels. Reach through your fingertips. Lift your chest. And on your exhalation, really press and reach. Feel your entire body stretching here. Full body stretch. Inhale, relax. Switch the grip of your thumbs. Exhale, press and reach. Inhale, switch the grip again. Exhale, press and reach. Inhale, switch your grip. Exhale, press and reach. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. And then bring your hands down by your side. Let's bend the right knee. Keep the left leg long. Take your left hand on your right knee. The right arm can extend out, and we're going to twist over to the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Press through the left heel. Get your length first, and then exhale, twist. And one more. Inhale. Exhale, nice deep twist. And then bring your knee up and take that leg long, right leg. Switch sides. Left knee will come up. Left arm extends out. Right hand on your left knee. Inhale. Exhale, twist over to the right. Now, if this left shoulder pops up, pick up the right shoulder to try to get that left shoulder down on the floor, on your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. And then come up. And release that leg. And we'll go with our breath this time. One breath, one movement. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, release. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, nice twist. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, lengthen through the left leg. Oops. Hi, Lily. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. Lengthen through the leg. And last one, inhale, left knee comes up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, bring it up. And release that leg to the floor. Now let's take the right knee back up, clasp around the shin. You can always use a strap here too, if you need to. You can always use your strap to pull the knee in. Left leg is long, Tadasana leg, right? We always have that internal rotation. And then we're gonna take our forehead toward our knee. Hug it in, press away with your left leg. Hug it in, you can tuck your chin in towards your chest, hugging everything in. And then release that leg to the mat. Now the right leg is long and active, right? We get the inner rotation of the right leg. Left knee comes up. Take your forehead to your knee. Hug it in. Press away with your right foot. Hug it in. If this is too much on your neck, just stay down. And then let that foot float to the edge of your mat. And we'll add the breath work here. So exhale, right knee, forehead come up. Inhale, let that foot float to the edge of your mat. Exhale, left knee comes up, hug it in. Inhale, with control, let that foot glide to the edge of your mat. Exhale, right knee comes up, hug it in, and release. And then exhale, left knee up. And then inhale, release. And just stay here. Hold it here. All right. So let's find our strap. We'll do a couple of the hip series. We'll just take the strap and we're going to take it around our right heel. Extend your left leg long. Now take the shoulders down into your mat so you lift your chest. And flex both feet. Take your right thigh, your right hip away from your chin. And then take your belly button up towards your chin. And lift your chest. Press away with that left leg. The left pinky toes pointing up. So the left knee, the left inner thigh are rotating toward your mat. And then pull down on your strap as you press into your strap and take that right thigh away. Keep the chest lifted. Breathe here. So opening up, you should feel this in the hamstring. If you're not feeling this in the hamstring, maybe you take your leg a little closer. If your knee's bending though, you're not going to get into your hamstring, so you want to take your leg a little bit farther away. Lift the chest. and then bend your knee and take that leg long. And we'll switch sides. So we'll take the strap around the left heel. Right leg goes long, right pinky toe points up. Lift the chest, flex both feet. Take your left thigh bone away from your chin. And then your low belly up. Pull down on your strap and press your heel into your strap. Breathe here. Don't let that right foot splay out. Notice what's going on. That leg wants to get comfy, right? We start working on the left leg and the right leg goes a little bit more comfortable. So we're going to take that pinky toe up. And then let's release. And now let's take it back over to the right heel. Right leg up. This time both ends of the strap come into the left hand. Left leg goes long. Left pinky toe points up, and the right thumb will come into your right hip crease. Inhale here, and then exhale. Let's take our right thumb, press that right thigh bone away. So now we're helping it along. We're creating that traction in that right thigh, in the right hip. And then we're going to take our right heel over in line with our left shoulder. So we're still pushing that right thigh away. Lock the left shoulder down, left pinky toe points up, and breathe here. So we're getting now into the outer leg, the abductors, right? The AB, the abductors. Press that right hip away. We're opening up, creating some traction in the hip. Inhale. Exhale, bring your leg up. Remove your strap, bend your knee, take that leg long. Other side. Strap will go around the left heel. Both ends of the strap into your right hand. Right pinky toe points up. Engage your right leg. Keep that leg active. Left thumb is going to come into your left hip crease. We're going to press that left thigh bone away. And then we're going to take the left heel over in line with our right shoulder. Without letting that right foot splay open, right? We want to take that right pinky toe back up, getting the internal rotation of the right leg. We're pressing that left hip away. Lift the chest. Breathe here. Keep breathing. Draw the navel in and up. Try to get that right shoulder down. Inhale, and then exhale, bring that leg up. Remove the strap, take that leg long. All right, now we'll do the abductors, the AD. So we're going to take, if you want, I like to have a blanket or a block outside my hip. I'm going to take the strap back around the right heel. Take the left leg long. Left hand now is going to come onto your left hip bone, that pointy part of your left hip. We're going to really focus on keeping that hip down, keeping the left leg active. We're going to inhale here. And then as we exhale, open the right leg out to the right. Press through your heel. Pull that left hip down. Lift the chest. I don't know why, but this feels particularly good today. So just notice, kind of notice, we do this a lot, and we do these poses a lot. First of all, because this is just such an amazing series, the hip series. So good for back health. But also we learn something new, and there's something we can discover every time we're in these poses. So just kind of notice what's going on. Maybe some new workout that you did that you got particularly tight muscles in different areas that you're able to stretch in these poses. Just notice kind of the difference from one time to the next where you do this pose. Let's take another breath in. And then as we exhale, use your core, bring that leg up, bend the knee, take the strap off, move your support over to the other side. And then we're going to switch. So strap around the left heel, both ends of the strap in the left hand. Right leg goes long and strong, right? The right pinky toes pointing up, and our right hand's on that right hip bone. Lift the chest, lock that left shoulder down, take a breath in, and exhale, lower your left leg out to the left. Pull your right hip down. Take that right pinky toe up. Don't let the foot splay open. That leg is active. And breathe. Pull the strap into your foot. Press your foot into your strap. Really feel that engagement. Feel the opening right here in your inner thigh, the adductor area. As you pull that right hip down, creating that space. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the leg up. Remove your strap. Take that leg to the edge of your mat. You can put all your stuff aside for right now. Just stay here. You have your hands on your hips. Take your legs long. Kind of notice how all that feels. All right, let's bend the knees. Now we're going to, with the hips and heels in line with each other, we're going to slide the right foot over to the right and let that right knee drop in towards your left foot. And then we kind of add on from here. So if this is enough for you to stay here, maybe you can take your left foot on your right thigh. And then we check our alignment. We want to make sure the right knee is in line with the right shoulder. So internal rotation of the right hip is what we're doing right now. We're getting the hip to internally rotate. And then we can add on by taking the right arm up and overhead, adding on the upper attachment of your psoas, and take a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Drag the left heel down your thigh, maybe reach up a little higher with your right wrist. It's creating that long line from the right knee to the right hand. Lift the chest here. Take your low belly in and up. And breathe and stay here. And then slowly uncross. Bend the knees so the knees are now pointing back up to your ceiling. And we'll do this on the other side. So slide the left foot over and the left knee will come in towards your right foot. Right? And we want that as a 45-degree angle. And then if this feels okay, then you can take your right foot on your left thigh. That left hip will pop up a lot, and we want that. And then we check our alignment. Make sure the left knee is in line with your left shoulder. Lift the chest. And if this feels okay, take your left arm overhead, take a hold of your wrist, your left wrist, with your right hand. Breathe here. Maybe drag the right heel down. Pulling up a little bit more with the left wrist. Take the low belly in and up. Internal rotation of your hip. And just kind of pay attention to what your body is saying. How does this feel this week? And then let's uncross, bring both feet back on the mat. Square up your hips. We'll go into external rotation now. So the right knee will drop over to the edge of your mat. And then just slide that right foot behind your left heel. So that's your external rotation right here. You're going to feel that in the right hip. You can leave your left foot where it is. You can even take it long. Or you can add on. You can take your left heel in front of your right shin. Or your left foot onto your right thigh. Whatever works for your body, right? So go where you can go here. Flex your feet if your left foot's on your thigh. lift your chest. And then if you want, arms can come overhead. Or maybe even hold on to your opposite elbows. So if it's too much with your foot on your thigh, just take your foot in front of your right shin. Lift the chest. Breathe here. And again, notice how this all feels. Especially since we just did internal rotation, how do your hips react to external as opposed to internal? And it could be different with each one. It probably is different with each one. One more breath. And then uncross, bring your feet back on your mat. And we'll set up for the other side. So now we'll let the left knee drop over to the left, and we'll take that left foot behind our right heel. And this is where we kind of check in. You can stay right here, or come into Sukhasana legs with your right heel in front of your left shin, or maybe double pigeon with your right foot on your left thigh. And then maybe adding on with the arms overhead. Lift the chest. Breathe here. Nice deep breaths. Opening up the hip externally. Lift the chest. One more deep breath. And then let's uncross. Bring your feet onto your mat. Hands can come down by your hips. You can hug everything in. Just rock from side to side. All right, so we're going to roll back over onto our hands and knees. And let's find a block. So we're going to take a block and we're going to place it in between our inner thighs. You can use a blanket, you can roll up a blanket or even a pillow here. Now we're going to turn our toes under and lift into downward facing dog with the block in our inner thighs. So lift your hips high. You can bend your knees right now. Get your knees and your chest toward each other to take your tailbone a little higher, and then straighten your legs a little bit more. Now we're going to rotate our inner thighs into that block like we've been doing all morning, right? So we're internally rotating into that block like we're trying to shoot the block toward the back edge of our mat. And you can try to press your heels toward the floor. And then come on down onto your hands and knees, take a breath. All right, we're gonna do that again. So on your hands and knees, we're gonna turn the toes under, lift into downward facing dog. So same thing, rotate your inner thighs into that block, like you're trying to shoot it out toward the back of your mat. Now keeping that action, shift forward into plank. Shoulders are going to come over your wrist. Now feel free if you want to, you can put your knees down, but you're still going to do that. You're still going to rotate your inner thighs into your block. Or you're here. Either way. Now if you're on your hands and knees, either way, or with your knees off the mat, we're trying to shoot the block up to the ceiling. And then come back down onto your hands and knees. Take a breath. All right, go ahead, take the block out. Let's lift it back into downward facing dog without the block this time. Same thing though. Imagine it's there. So you've got an imaginary block between your inner thighs, and you're trying to shoot that block to the edge of your mat. And then now look at your hands and walk your feet and your hands toward each other. And just hang here in a forward bend for a couple breaths. You can let your arms dangle. Maybe hold on to your opposite elbows. Whatever feels right for you right now. Let the crown of your head fall heavy toward the floor. Just let gravity do all the work here. Feet are hip distance. Take a breath in. Exhale. Let everything go. Breath in again. Exhale, release. And one more time, breath in. And exhale. Take your hands back by your side. We're going to come all the way up to standing, to Tadasana. And we're going to get our block again. So a lot of this today, right? We're working on the SI joint and hip opening. So we're going to take the block back just like we've been doing, but now we're in Tadasana. So we say Tadasana legs, right? We want to internally rotate into this block, like we're trying to shoot the block out behind us. So that will automatically kind of tilt your tailbone up. So then we want to make that adjustment. So then we're going to draw the belly up toward our chin, which will take the tailbone down toward the heels. But we're still getting that internal rotation of the legs. All right, but we don't want this. We want this. The tailbone's drawing down, the belly's drawing up, hands come down by your side. Take the shoulders down, away from your ears. Crown of the head rises up. And then take a couple breaths here, really rooting down through the soles of your feet and rising up. Okay, so you can kind of relax here. We're going to keep using the block. We're going to do Uttanasana, and we can do it at the wall, or my assistant is here. She's not going to like this right now, but I'm going to put this on my mat. Okay. This is Lily. You don't know. I think everyone knows Lily by now. So option one, we'll start here you can start at your wall. If you don't have a wall, I'm going to show you how to do it in the chair. If you're at the wall, your hands can come right about your waist distance. You're going to step back, push the wall away, and we're going to rotate the inner thighs into the block. Ears stay in line with your arms. So that's option one. Option two, you can use a chair, or even this table would be fine, right? Something like this. Okay, so find some piece of furniture where you can have your arms in line with your ears. And you kind of push away, get your spine long, take your tailbone away from your support, and then we're rotating the inner thighs into the block. Draw your navel in and up. Yeah, good. Couple more breaths. And now just walk close to your prop and then come to standing. All right. So now if you do have a wall, we're going to do this at the wall. If not, don't worry about it. We can do it in the middle of the room. So I'm going to demonstrate here and then we'll go from there. So we're going to take the block between our legs and I'm going to sit back into the wall, into Uttanasana. So my hands are just going to start on the chair pose. My hands are gonna start on my legs and I'm squeezing into this block. And I can even take my shoulders at the wall and reach the arms up if that feels okay. So if you don't have a full wall, we'll just do it here. So block is in between our inner thighs. We're gonna sit back like we're sitting into an imaginary chair. Low belly draws up. Arms can stay here, maybe here. Squeeze into the block. And then if it feels okay, you can reach the arms up. Lift the chest. Squeeze into that block. Wherever you are. I'm gonna come out, but you guys can stay there. Nice. All right, so carefully, just start to straighten, remove the block. So now, if you have a strap with a buckle, we're gonna make a loop, and we're gonna take it around our ankles like this. And you want it wide enough that your feet are about hip distance. So, probably like that. So, kind of make that adjustment. So it's around your ankles. And even if maybe you can tie something, but if you don't have it, don't. If you don't have a buckle on your strap, don't worry. All right, so once you're there, we're in Tadasana. And then we're gonna sit back into our imaginary chair. So we're going back into chair pose. You start with your hands on your thighs right now, and we're pulling into that strap. So we're pulling our ankles into that strap. Now take your belly up towards your chin. Sit back into your chair. And then if you want to, you can take your arms out or maybe up in line with your ears. Lift the chest. But feel that right now the energy is really pulling into that strap. So we're trying to pull the ankles into the strap, lift the chest. Low belly draws up. So a little bit different activity, right? Once we were just hugging the inner thighs in, now we're kind of pulling out. But we still want to feel that, the thighs working. All right, carefully come up. You can step out of your strap. All right. So we're going to use the strap a little bit more with your loop. It's still going to be that, looks like I need to make mine a little bit longer. We want it shoulder distance. All right, so we can kind of measure it here. So I want it to be able to, same idea that we just did with the ankles, we're going to do with the wrists. So if you have a wall here, you can use the wall or you can use a blanket. So I'm going to show you two ways. So I'll start with the wall. We're going to go into warrior one. I'm going to take my left heel up the wall, step my right foot forward, bend into my right knee, square off my hips. All right, so that's option one. If you don't have the wall, you can take your heel up on a blanket. Same thing. So I'll stay here. Now we're going to take our strap. We're going to take our wrists into our strap, bend into your front knee, and then carefully reach your arms up. And bend the left knee. Pull into your strap just like we did with our ankles. So you pull the right into the right, the left into the left side of the strap, lift the chest. Take your low belly up towards your chin. Lift the chest. Bend that left knee. And then maybe straighten the left knee. Bend your right knee even more into a square. Float the shoulders back away from your ears. And then carefully come down, step your feet together. Stand here for a breath. And we'll set up for the other side. So now the right heel will go up your wall. I'll do this side on the wall. Or on your blanket. And then you step your left foot forward. So we're going into warrior one at the wall or our blanket. Strap is still around the wrist. We're going to bend deeply into that left knee, lift the chest, arms extend out in front, and then reach your arms overhead. Bend the right knee right now, truly opening up into the psoas, and then bend your left knee into a square. Lift the chest, pull into your strap. Float the shoulders back and down. And then carefully come out, step your feet together. Just take a breath there. Okay, so we're going to do that again with a different variation of our hands. So this time, we're going to take the strap behind us. So if you're like me, I have a really long strap. So try not to trip over the tail of the strap. So let's start with the left heel up the wall or in your blanket. We're going to take the right foot forward and bend the right knee. Lift the chest. And then we're just like before, we've got this strap behind us, arms behind us, and we're pulling our wrists into our strap. Lift the chest. Take your low belly up towards your chest, bend deeply into your front knee. Pull on your strap. Maybe you can straighten your back leg. And then carefully step up. You can keep your hands where they are. Stay here, and we'll set up for the other side. So take your right heel back, left foot forward. Bend into your front knee. Maybe bend that right knee a little bit to get there. Lift your chest. Pull the strap. When you pull the strap, that helps lift the chest even more. Go ahead, stay there. Breathe. Good. And then go ahead and step your feet together. Just remove your strap. Come to Tadasana. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Uttanasana without the block. So whether you used your chair, you can use your chair, your table, your wall. And I'll go with the wall right now. So if you start at your wall here, we just want to step back. So ideally your wrists are in line with your shoulders. So we're back in Uttanasana. We don't have the block this time, but we want to make sure that we are getting those inner thighs into that imaginary block, right? We're still internally rotating into that block. Now root down through your left leg. We still want to rotate that right inner thigh into the block, but we're going to lift the right leg parallel to the floor. So we don't want to pop that right hip up. We want that right hip square to the floor, and we're lifting the right leg into warrior 3. All right, so again, wherever you are, you might be at a chair or a table. And then we'll carefully bring that leg back down. All right, other side. So we've got the imaginary block there, shooting that block out to the back of our mat. And we're keeping that action in the legs, and we're going to lift the left leg slowly, parallel to the floor, without popping that left hip up. So we want that left hip down, pinky toe pointing down. And then we're going to carefully lower that leg to the floor. And let's do that 2 more times on each side. So again, wherever you are, we're going to lift the right leg, nice and slow with control, without popping up the hip. The left leg is super strong, and then we lower that leg down. Root down through the right leg first. Don't rush into it. Take your time. And then lift the left leg. Don't pop that left hip up. And then bring that leg down with control. Nice and slow. Take your time. Root down first before you lift the right leg. Right leg lifts up. Don't pop that hip up. Point that pinky toe down. And then carefully lower. And then last side. Left leg lifts up. Try to keep your ears in line with your arms. Yep. And then lower. And then walk to the wall or your chair. Come up to Tadasana. And then take a breath here. So we don't have the block here, but let's pretend we do. So all this work we've been doing all morning on getting the internal rotation of the inner thighs. Imagine your block is there. Draw your navel up. We still want that tailbone drawing down. Shoulders back and down, crown of your head up. Okay, let's step our feet wide apart. You can have your block in front of you. Take your hands on your hips for right now. And kind of walk them in toward each other. So we're lifting the chest, taking the shoulder blades toward each other. Toes are pointing slightly in toward each other. All right, let's take a breath in, lift the chest. Now exhale, hinge from your hips, keep the chest lifted. And then as you come down, you can take your hands on your block or on your mat for Prasarita. Inhale. Exhale, press into your block, lift the chest for right now. Draw the shoulders away from each other. Open up through the collarbones. Actually, draw the shoulders toward each other. Now we're drawing the kneecaps up to the thighs up to the hips. And then as we exhale, let's come forward. Maybe you can take, some of you might be able to take your hands in line with your feet, like the heels of your hands in line with the heels of your feet, if possible. If not, don't worry about it. Just stay with your hands on your block. Crown of your head comes down parallel to the floor. Maybe you can even place the crown of your head on your block. Draw the kneecaps up. Draw the thighs up. Now, if your hands are in line with your feet and your elbows are bent, we want to hug the elbows in toward each other. Like there's a block between our elbows. Just like before, we're hugging everything in. Keep the tailbone lifted. Draw your navel in and up. And then walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Heel toe your feet in to about hip distance. Take your hands by your hips and then come all the way up. Take a breath here. All right, now let's make our way down onto our, just into a, actually let's come down onto our hands and knees. We're gonna come onto our side. So let's come on to our right side. And you can have your hand on your head. And we're gonna take both legs out behind us. And we'll take the right leg slightly. I'm not mirroring you so I don't get mixed up here. So we're gonna take the right leg slightly behind us. And then we're gonna point the left toe slightly down. So there's that internal rotation again. And then we're gonna lift, kind of like we're lifting the heel and lower. And lift and lower. We're gonna do this 3 more times. Nice and slow, lift and lower. I lost count, I think this is 2. And 1 more, lift and lower. All right, we're gonna do that 2 more times, 2 more sets of 5. So take a breath, then we'll switch sides. So we're gonna lift and lower. With control, nice and slow, don't rush through it. Lift and lower. So your toes pointing down, right? We got that little bit of a point. So we're still rotating that inner thigh in. Lift and lower and lift and lower and hold it here. Take a breath. One more set. Lift the heel and down and lift and down. It's not about how high we go, right? We want that toe pointing down. So again, think about that. Think about pointing your toe down towards your mat. Lift. And so you're really feeling it right in here. Let's do one more. And lower. All right, we'll switch sides. So flip to the other side. You can just flip over. I'll turn this way. All right. So we're strengthening our glutes in this one. So you can come onto your left hand. You can take the right leg slightly back. We're extending through that, left leg back. Right toes point down. And then we lift and lower. Lift the heel. So really feeling it here. It's a glute strengthener, right? We're feeling it here again. It doesn't matter how high you lift. You want to feel this here. That's why pointing those toes down, we get the internal rotation of the leg. I don't know if that was 5. Let's do one more. And lower, and then hold it here. 2 more sets. Let's go. Lift and lower. This is more Pilates than yoga, I think, but it's all good. I love Pilates. Lift and lower. 4 and 5. I'm feeling these. One more set. Take a breath. All right, here we go. Lift and lower and lift and down. Lift with the heel. 2 more. And last one. So really feeling that in the glute. All right, bend your knees. Let's flip over to the other side again, but we're going to come onto our hands and knees this time. And we're going to come onto our elbow, onto our forearm. So we're going to go into side plank on the forearm though. So you can come onto your right knee, right forearm, and then you can start with your left hand on your hip. So you can start here, maybe lift your leg. And if you want, you can lift your arm. So that's option 1. Again, we're getting all into here right now. We're internally rotating. If you want to, you can go into the full extension of side plank with your both legs extended. Maybe lift the arm, maybe lift the leg. So just go where you can go here. We'll hold it here just for a few more breaths. One more. Lift. If both legs are extended, lift that bottom hip and then come down. And we'll switch sides. So we'll set up on our left forearm and the left knee and take the right arm out. Start with your right hand on your hip. Okay, option 1, stay here. Maybe lift your leg. You're going to really feel the glute work here. So don't feel like you have to extend that bottom leg. There's a lot of work going on here. And this is just optional if you want to take your arm up. If you do want to, you can take your legs, extend the legs, lift the bottom hip. Reach up or stay here, or even here. Either way. Engage the core, draw the navel up. And then come on down. And go ahead and take child's pose. Take a little breath there. All right, so let's come back up And we're going to come back onto our right side. Bring your strap with you. You can come all the way down onto you can rest your head on your shoulder. So we're going to either use the strap, and maybe if your loop is still there, that might help. We're going to use the strap, and the right leg will be straight, and we're just going to take the left leg up. And you can even come onto your hand, your head and your hand. Now, for those of you who might be a little bit more open, you can take your fingers around your big toe and lift the leg. So there's a little bit of balance here. Don't worry about it though. This is not easy to grab your toe. So use your strap if you have it. Lift the chest. And then bend the knee. Extend your legs. We're going to hug them in and switch sides. So start with both legs long. You can come on, rest your head on your shoulder. You can rest your head in your hand. You can take your strap around your leg and draw the leg up. I'm wobbly here. All right, so this kind of balance, we're balancing on our hips. So use your strap, feel free to use your strap or take a hold of your toe. Low belly draws up, hold the toe towards your head, and just go where you can go here. All right, bend your knee. Come on out. You can move the strap. Keep the strap nearby, but just move it away for right now. Just off of your mat. All right, let's come back. Now we're going to come on to our backs. We're going to get our block again. And we're going to take the block back into our inner thighs. Because why not? We've been doing it all day, right? All right. So squeeze into your block, hands by your hips. Walk your heels in towards your butts. So keep them in line with so we want them in line with our hips, right? Heels in line with our hips. We're going into bridge, squeezing into the block. Now, press your hands into your mat, root down through the soles of your feet and lift into bridge. And walk your shoulders underneath your chest. And now we're squeezing into that block, just like we did in chair, right? So we're squeezing into it. But we're also going to get in that internal rotation, just like we've been doing all morning. Take the low belly up towards your chest. Take the chest towards your chin. Lift the chest. All right, now lower down. Keep the block there. We're going to do this 2 more times. Take a breath. Walk the heels in and then lift. Exhale, lift. And then lower, nice and slow. And one more time. Exhale, squeeze into your block. Lift the chest. Press your hands into your mat. Hug into that block. And then carefully upper back, middle back, lower back. Come all the way down. And put the block aside. Okay. So now we're going to do bridge again, but we're going to use our strap. So take the strap underneath. We're going to use that loop that we've been using. So slide your hands into your loop. Hopefully it's still shoulder distance. Walk your heels in. Root down through your feet. We're going to lift up. Lift up, lift up. We're still squeezing into a block even though it's not there. Now walk your shoulders. Pick up your right shoulder. Walk it under your chest. Pick up your left shoulder. Walk it underneath your chest. Lift your hips. Take the low belly towards your chin and pull into your strap. Pull the right into the right and the left into the left. Get those shoulders underneath. Take the low belly towards your chest towards your chin. Hold it here. One more breath. Really lift into this. And then come down nice and slow. Upper back, middle back, lower back, remove the strap. Exhale, take your feet wide to the edge of your mat and then bring your knees over to the right. Bring them up and over to the left to just windshield wiper your legs from side to side at your own pace. What time is it? Okay. All right. So now bring your knees back up. Let's hug them in. Let's take the right knee over the left. Hug your knees back in. And if you want, you can slide your hands down to your ankles. Gently pull the ankles away from each other. Lift the chest. Take your knees slightly over to the left. And then release and let's switch sides. So cross the left over the right, hug your knees in. Feel free to just stay right here. Or maybe slide your hands to your ankles. Gently pull the ankles away from each other. Lift the chest. Maybe take the knees slightly over to the right. That's going to deepen that stretch. Getting into your piriformis. Bring the knees up, uncross. Let's take the right ankle over the left knee. Slide your right hand through and clasp behind your left thigh. Feel free to leave your left foot down on the floor if that works better for you. And then gently press your right thigh away with your right elbow. And then you can always take your legs over to the left, again to deepen that stretch. So stretching out the glutes. We worked the glutes a lot today. We worked the abductors a lot today. And let's bring the legs up and we'll switch sides. Left ankle over the right knee, slide your hand through, clasp behind your right thigh. Draw that right knee up. Use the left elbow to press that leg away. And then we can take the legs over slightly to the right. Lift the chest. Big breaths. Begin to cool down. And uncross. Place your feet on the mat. Take your arms out to your sides. Take your hips over to the right. Take your right knee over your left. And then we're going to take the knees to the left. And again, if that is too much or just uncomfortable, don't cross your legs. You can stack your right knee on top of your left. You can even take your left hand on top of your right knee. And then if your right shoulder is popping up, pick up the left shoulder to get the right shoulder down. You can look over your right hand. So even this is stretching out the glutes over a nice relaxing twist. And let's bring our knees up and we'll switch sides. Uncross, take your hips over to the left, cross the left over the right. We'll take our knees over to the right. Lift your chest. And then bring your knees up, uncross. Let's hug our knees into our chest. Take your forehead to your knees. Give yourself a big hug here. And then we're going to find Shavasana. So if you do have a full wall and you still have your loop in your strap, you want it to be hip distance, you can come to your wall. Just sit, you can watch me first. But otherwise, if you want to just do a different variation of Shavasana, you can start getting settled in. Otherwise, you can take your legs up the wall, and then we'll take the strap around our thighs. You might want to tighten it up a little bit. We still want to get that internal rotation here. And you can stay right here. This is really nice It's a nice way to end class. Otherwise, you can take your legs on your chair. I know a lot of you have a chair. We've done it, we do it a lot. Same idea. Right, Lily? Am I gonna bother you? So we'll take our legs up our chair. And you want your legs to bend right at the chair so they're comfortable. You don't want this to be uncomfortable, right? So make it comfy. And you can stay here. Or any other variation of Shavasana, legs just extended straight out. Maybe a blanket underneath your knees. Maybe your knees are bent and touching with your feet at the edges of your mat. And maybe you're putting on a blanket or some socks. It's not the warmest day in the world today. May gray is here. Okay, now we're going to just scan our body. Just scan your body for anything you might be holding on to still. Just send your breath there. See if you can let that go. Relax your toes and your fingers. Relax your jaw, temples, shoulders. Let your entire body just release, right? Everything. Just let everything go. Let your body melt into the earth beneath you. And I'll ring the chimes 3 times when it's time to come out of Shavasana. You can begin to awaken your body. Start to bring movement into your fingers and your toes. Start to deepen your breath. Maybe reach your arms overhead and get a big stretch. And when you're ready, make your way over to your right side. Stay there for a breath. And then at your own pace, come up to a comfortable seated position. And then keep your eyes closed here. And let's check in again. Just as we checked in before we began our practice. Just notice, how are you feeling? Notice all the changes in your body since you got on your mat this morning. Maybe feeling more grounded, maybe more open, just more peaceful. Take your hands to your heart center. Thank yourself for this work that you've been doing today, for all this great work that you're doing for your body, your mind, your spirit as well. We'll thank all of our friends who connected with us virtually this morning and sharing their amazing energy with us. And I thank you so much for joining me today and joining all of us, sharing your practice with us. Have a beautiful Memorial weekend, whatever you plan on doing this weekend. Namaste. And you can unmute yourselves. So Zoom next week, definitely.
Not at the club? Not at the club at all?
Oh, no, I'm not going back until the 26th.
Okay.
So Shanna just wants to start them all at the same time, and it made more sense. They're going to start the week of the 20th. Everything will be back live the 20th. So my class will be the 26th. So the next 2 weeks, I'm here. Isaiah's 5th grade graduation is the 19th, and I'm really leaning toward canceling it. I haven't talked to Shanna. What's that?
You can. Feel free. You don't cancel much.
I know. I was thinking maybe I just do the class earlier, and I don't know why they're doing it on a Saturday, but and we may even have all-star baseball issues on that Saturday. But anyway, I'll keep you posted on what that ends up being. Maybe I'll do it earlier. But I was even thinking, if I did from 9 to, I guess I could do it from 9 to 10, and because it's not till I think it's at 11. The graduation's at 11. So I mean, we could do that. I'll let Shanna know too, so she can put it out there. And then the week after that, we'd be live, and then everything else changes after that too. So right now, the next 2 weeks definitely we're here. The third week, I'm not quite sure. The 19th, I might change the time, and then 26th, we're back in. So that's the world we live in right now, right? It's very fluid, right? We don't really know. We're like, just going with the motions here. But thanks everybody